and I'm a very big fan of this. Holy Island made it through. And I know, everyone's like, I'm signing off. I don't care, KP. It's water.
KP, MarineLorD didn't ban Knights Templars.
I think I know how this...
Wait, no,
he
Anotand
banned
didn't ban Knights Templars.
Anotand...
MarineLorD's gonna get Knights Templars.
So this is Shushi versus KT for Holy Island. Seems very likely.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, but Chinese is available too. So I think you pick... Oh, there you go. MarineLorD had first pick. Yeah, okay.
You picked China? Okay, so now Anotand has the ability to ban Knights Templar.
I think you have to.
There's no other way, right? Like, it would just be a guaranteed victory.
Unless he's discovered a secret strategy. And reminder people, you should actually be hyped for Holy Island. I know not everyone loves water, but there's something very unique and new about water I think might make you guys appreciate it a little bit more.
Knights Templar did get a pretty decent nerf when it came to the wooden cut.
That's
but
true.
There we go. It's been banned. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the Lancaster ban coming through now. That's actually like not really much of a surprise to me. I think Anotand... Wait, so Anotand bans it away from MarineLorD, right? My brain for a sec. Yeah. So
yeah.
Anotand actually quite likes Lancaster, and I actually like watching him play it because he has a very different take than almost every other player right now. He's probably... No, God. Can you imagine? He's probably the only player who's consistently, at least in tournaments anyway, exploring the Abbey of Kings. And I think when the dust settles, long term anyway, that's going to be the build people moan most about.
The Abbey of Kings. Are you gonna like put your cards in on that one?
Yeah, you lock it in with the Lords of Lancaster.
You're investing. You're investing into the Abbey of Kings stock.
Yeah, it's the LOL build. Lords of Lancaster. But it's actually... Have you seen what it does to a ram?
Yeah, it boosts up the HP of like anything. Like it's pretty crazy.
It's 80 more health on a ram.
It makes your army so tough to kill. Like suddenly the entire math that you just got etched into your muscle memory with how many units you need to one-shot another unit, it just all gets flipped.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very enlightening. You can get an extra 14 HP on Yeoman, which can already be hard to reach in certain fights. So like, yeah, it's very much time-based. I think also like Lancaster on a map like Enlightened Horizon is kind of critically underrated because it's so easy to get troops back and heal them up. But we might see them. The Ottoman pick coming through from Anotand, no surprise there. I know, he has scrimmed historically with people like B-Lot, rubbed off there. I think like if you think of the top three players, and I know a few CSOs in there, but like for me, the top three players that I'd say Ottomans, it's Louis, B, and Anotand. They always seem to find a way to sliver it in and use it.
Yeah, I think that adds up. I would honestly put Anotand like on the same-ish level as CSO when it comes to the control of Ottoman. Granted, what we've seen today didn't really, I want to say paint the correct picture there when we saw CSO play Ottomans up against Beastie. That was kind of a messy game, but I think the strategic know-how is there for sure.
Now this is interesting. MarineLorD is going to have access to the Delhi down the line. Pretty good with this draft. Gorge makes a lot of sense. Boardland, I think you can make it work with the new Pro Scouts. And of course, there's Enlightened Horizon, where in theory, Delhi should be really good, considering how far away the secret sites are, and the fact that you have the better cavalry compared to most civs.
Yeah, can be really good. But then again, Delhi doesn't have the greatest tools when it comes to like going for the points of interest there very early on, because you do kind of want to like get the timing in, and you can't make that much, like you can't do that much with gold since your upgrades are free anyways.
Okay, so rounding out here, we should have whatever wasn't banned available to pick. So Ibid's coming in, and now there it is. The hole is
Delhi.
the hole. Yeah.
Thank God.
I knew you're gonna be happy with that. A lot of camels though. Do you like camels?
Depends on the camel.
We
I don't
technically
mind
have...
Desert Raiders. I'm not a big fan of the Camel Archer.
You don't mind Desert Raiders?
Yeah, I think Desert Raiders are just way better balanced than Camel Archers. Even with 5 melee armor.
I can get behind that until someone sticks a Dervish behind it.
Yeah, I mean, Dervish, that's another issue.
Yeah.
We look at that separately.
We've got to look at this first game. Boardland, MarineLorD got a lot of organic picks for this map. Rus, Chinese, Malians, Order of the Dragon. It is a map that's still considered pretty good for pro scouts. Anotand definitely not weak in that regard either. Shushi comes to mind, but you might want to keep them for the flexibility of maps like Holy Island. Outside that, I think Byzantines is kind of okay here because of the kind of send it nature down the center.
Yeah, I think there's. I could also see just Juji getting picked there. Anotand does still have Japan for Holy Island, so Juji on Boatland definitely an option there as well.
I think we've seen some IOs in the past as well. Like, technically, the Desert Raiders are really good at denying the Pro Scouts. Although, there is an argument, like, on Boardland, obviously, the spread is wide. So, it kind of reminds me of KT on, like, a Gorge or Dry Arabia. You're gambling that you find where their economy is going to be in the opening minutes. In that case, it's Pilgrims. In this case, it's Scouts.
Yeah. All right, we should know any second now. First matchup's gonna be. Yeah, I'm guessing probably something like. It could be. Nah, I think China probably on Frisian marshes.
I think Malians makes
maybe
so
yeah,
much
Mali,
sense.
Either Mali or Rus, I want to say.
Yeah, and the other one gets interchanged into Gorge, probably. Makes a lot of sense. So with that in mind, expecting either Malians or Rus. Shushi, I don't know if you really want that against Malians per se. Maybe
Juji is fine against Mali.
I don't think you can Mongols, because if it's Malians, great, but if it's Rus, I'm trying to think if there's a worse matchup for Mongols. Like, there's nothing to hit usually against Rus.
Oldland is a pretty open map, so playing Mongols can be really good there as well. Like, you can make use of just a couple of Mangudai. And we do actually get the Mongols here.
Yeah, but it's Mongol Chinese, and this one can usually feel a little bit tricky. We've seen that China can quite often shrug the Mongol spam off by just spamming harder.
Yeah, I'm wondering, though, if we're going to be seeing something along the lines of early Imperial Official here. Mainly because, like, Mongols are really good at shutting down the gold early on.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thought as well, is like, do you not just see it as a net advantage as Mongols if you say, for example, open Uvu, just rush feudal, knowing your opponent likely has to build an official because it's too risky not to?
That's definitely something that you can do, but in a situation where your opponent will want to go for Pro Scouts anyways, like, it doesn't hurt you that much. Like, you'll deny, or rather delay Pro Scouts with the outpost one way or another, force your opponent to go into most likely just infantry, because you'll have the spearmen inside the outpost. It's a nice play, especially on a map like this, where there's a good chance that your opponent won't have... Actually, never mind. That's not true. For a second, I was like, okay, maybe there's not like an additional gold to move out to. But on Boldland, very often you can have another gold in the back as well.
Yeah, it's definitely far out there. I find usually the bigger issue on Boldland is your tree lines leave you very vulnerable because they typically spawn just out of TC range. So you can get harassed there. So usually wood is the bigger threat factor. Obviously, China feels very safe because they have the bargain drops. I wonder if we see Mongols going Pro Scouts. I know, like, B loves Pro Scout still, like, on Mongols. I've seen him do it a decent amount. Anotand occasionally was more guilty of it than other people going, but I think someone that is quite nice here is Mangudai because of the Pro Scouts. Like, technically, Mangudai, Mongols was kind of getting a good win rate or decent win rate in Pro Scouts meta because of how good the Cav Archers were at stopping it.
Mangudai is a really good move as well. When you start off with the outpost forward, then your Mangudai add a proxy, like, building forward. They get the bonus movement speed with the Yamar. Suddenly, horsemen can't catch up to them anymore. And suddenly, like, your opponent doesn't really have any more tools when it comes to dealing with Mangudai. They're always going to have to, like, slowly move their Jugunu behind them as well to try and defend their Pro Scout play.
By the way, guys, just a reminder that we've got plenty of weeks of action to come here. In fact, the end date for this tournament is, I believe, 18th of May, just a few days after my birthday. So a nice birthday present is plenty of entertainment along the way. If you guys want to make sure you don't have to worry about those ads, always a reminder, when there's an EGC tournament kicking off, you want to make sure you get those Prime subs in, you will get the subs in. Make sure you take advantage of it, because today alone is probably going to be 8 hours? 8 or 9 hours, I think.
Nah, we're gonna get more than 8 hours, right? Like this is gonna be like a 2.5, 3 hour long set at least. We're gonna get 5 games. One of them is gonna be 1 hours long at minimum.
What matchup is going to be 1 hour long at minimum?
It's gonna be Mali
Ottoman Rus.
versus Juji on Frisian Marshes.
Really? You don't think it's going to be Ottoman Rus?
I don't think Ottoman Rus is gonna take that long. I think Ottoman got Rus's number.
Okay, what about Abbasid Ottoman?
Yeah, that can go longer. That can go a good bit longer.
All right, we have some potential here. And I think Holy Island's going to be quick, by the way. Just with the new demo ship detail, there's so much margin for error. For those that don't know, the devs gave us a gift. It wasn't an intended gift, and they've been trying to pull it away from us and refund it back to the shop, but we want to keep it. If your demos detonate near your own boats, it hurts a lot.
It does. It does. It has no drop-off damage. They do friendly fire with no range drop-off damage.
Yeah, so demos are a very big risk-reward now, which makes sense. I actually like the idea. I even like the idea of having land units that are higher risk, higher reward. Like, that's a nice way of balancing. Like, people complain about Siege. Just let mangoes do friendly fire. If you just use them like a clown, you're going to wipe out your own army. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Then it actually makes sense having them do more damage.
Yeah, and then when people are like, but I can't, like, the Siege is going to hurt me, Kraken. I don't want to build. Yeah, don't build it then. Like, just play the other units. You got other units.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of AoE4. There's choices. Choose the micro.
So many choices.
We can choose the A-click. This is just going to end with people building Springolds, isn't it?
It might. KP, it just might. We're getting the Scorpion Springle treatment.
Siege will be used to hurt allies? Right, because people don't already... Like, if you... I'm not going to tell you how...
Do that.
Yeah, but if you want to grief your like teammates, you already can, and then you can get banned for it.
Yeah.
So like, like that same logic. If you applied that to Dota 2, oh my god, you like shouldn't be able to drop your items on the floor. Like even those strategic reasons. What if someone just walks down mid and drops their items and dies? Then
did you know there's friendly fire in Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six Siege?
Wait, really? Okay, I know what I'm doing tonight. Okay, you know what the funny part is? You'll get auto banned for shooting too many people in the head, but there's no tracker.
What if they just run in front of you?
No, Crackety, there's no tracker for flashing your own teammates.
Flashbanging, you meant, right? Right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Yep. Do you know you can actually flashbang yourself in AoE4?
Oh, 100%. Saharan desert biome.
The winter's definitely worse. But there's actually another way. Oh, yeah, there you go. He's flashbang himself now. You playing Counter-Strike? So, interestingly enough, if you are watching a tech up on a landmark, and the landmark is at the bottom of your screen when it completes, the gold...
Oh, yeah. It goes up.
I had it on a cast for the first time. I don't know how I dodged it all this time. And I was like, what just happened? We can't see full tint of yellow the entire time. Oh, blimey. It's fun, though. I like that you can just discover new things after all this time.
Yeah, I think we've just about stalled long enough. Only 10 seconds remaining.
No, we haven't. I haven't seen enough Prime subs. Keep going.
Oh, my God.
Like, what's the classic meme? Cast start the game.
KP.
Stop making about you.
Games. Start the game already.
Well, it is time to start it. The final series of the day. It is going to be Gentlemates MarineLorD up against Voldic Esports Anotand in a BO5. And we kick it off here in Boldland with two players who actually have hair.
No, Anotand, the TC. There's a tile between the wood line.
Yeah, but look at how neatly SimCity'd I am next to the Uva. I think maybe Anotand's been playing in one of those city building competitions recently.
Aww. All right. Let's see. What's the game plan? MarineLorD already has a villager on wood. We're getting the village in. No Imperial official from the looks of it yet.
Isn't that like quite a far away mill against Mongols?
It's a... Yeah. It's unnecessarily far away, I want to say. You can literally just put it right next to the TC. It's fine. It's fine. Doesn't hurt you in any way.
Technically, like your opponent is going to build an outpost that deep because
Oh,
you'll
no,
just
mind.
rush
We're
him.
not getting outpost.
No,
Anotand is going
I like
for
this.
the. Yeah, okay, that's pretty nice. I like the pasture play, the early pasture play. You get an insane amount of food from that early pasture, and we're also seeing a sheep being rallied all the way over to the Gur. So during age up, Anotand, he isn't gonna like uselessly have villagers out there gathering gold when he wants other resources.
Very dangerous though, MarineLorD. Luckily for him, MarineLorD did not scout that. By the way,
Yeah.
balls are still, and you can tell these two practice together. MarineLorD did not open the Imperial Official. He didn't for a second expect to get outpost rushed.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure if he expected it, but maybe he just thought, okay, I'll scout first. And I mean, he saw the villagers moving out to gold relatively early on. Like he did he did go for a straight beeline over to his opponent's base.
Yeah, nice thing, of course. Like this matchup is between the two civs that technically are the best at scouting and gathering sheep. You have the Mongols, obviously the movement speed, plus the fact they can just punt a falcon out, and of course China with the extra vision. So very hard to actually get one up on these guys in rotations. I find, like, you know, when you're up against Mongols or China, you usually feel like you're behind on info or behind on sheep.
Yeah. Man, I can't get over just how good that pasture is. And look at that sheep right now feeding the villagers here from Anotand. He's got the gold that he needs for the age up. Isn't wasting any time there. We are getting the Imperial Academy in, rushed up with 3 villagers. So we do have that Noio opening here from MarineLorD, and that's a good amount of sheep. Nice sheep.
Probably still thinking about pro scouts down the line. In fact, yeah, Freak switching over to gold.
Nice sheep here as well.
Okay, so Anno's got to play blocker, right? There's no way you try to mirror pro scouts into China.
Yeah, probably not the best idea. And I mean, he's got the ability to do so with the Mangadai.
It's going to be tricky without that aura on the front side. I think that the rough thing about Magadai, and it's actually impressive how well it worked in Pro Scouts meta, is if your opponent's going Pro Scouts and you're playing Magadai to block it, it means he also has Horsemen. So
yeah,
it is a bit awkward, because often what ends up happening is you see Horsemen, you have to maneuver speed arrow away, and then you just feel like you're kind of AFKing until it comes off cooldown.
Maybe we first see a couple of Keshiks and then Mangadai coming in.
Make a lot of sense.
Anotand, he is still gathering gold, and he's not far off of having enough gold for a Keshik there.
Decent amount of gold at that. Yeah, like it definitely doesn't feel like it's Magadai production at this pacing. And also, like when you have this much stone, I think either is desirable just because of the surge speed you get on that production rate.
Yeah.
By the way, this
There
might have
is
ended up
birds
being an
coming- stable coming
uncomfortable.
in.
This actually might have ended up being an uncomfortable game against a sort of outpost rush. We talked about the gold spawn in the corner quite often. Actually, MarineLorD got the
It's not
force
there.
spawn. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this would have been a really good one, actually, to outpost rush. And never mind, we do get the archer range. I like
I
the
guess-
idea that Mangadai can do, like just
Yeah.
causing delay on your opponent's side and buying you time to potentially go for like a fast castle age, separate out. And separate out just gives you so much economy baseline. Basically, if you have like 10 villagers on gold, they're gonna be as efficient as 15.
You have to be so quick with the surge onto outpost though with this type of map configuration. Like normally step readout's so nice when you just get the close proximity gold. As we can see in this game, it feels like it is a marathon to get across the gold, to the extent that the Deerstone isn't able to buff the entire region.
Oh, well, you got an archer range as well for MarineLorD. So potentially just some normal archers coming in.
Yeah, so he's expecting to play. I mean, archers should be able to hold back Magadai. The tricky part is being in the right place. So likely we're going to see MarineLorD play one deer stack at a time instead of what's becoming more popular at the moment, which is to send scouts out to all the deer stacks.
You'd think archers would be able to hold back Mangadai, but like as long as the numbers are somewhat even, like even 6 against 4, the Mangadai destroy the archers.
Good thing we can supervise. He does get the info early, so this could be an opportunity to switch Keshiks.
Would have the option to do so. Did he send more villagers out to gold? Or still just the 3?
It looks like it might be free still, 100 gold per minute.
Yeah.
And he did actually split for the initial scout gathering. So he had one into the center, one to the north, also one to the south. And he's going
There's the
spearman.
stable now.
Yeah, so MarineLorD's already read it. He's ahead.
Yeah, just normal spear archers so far.
This is quite frustrating when you play against China and they do this, though. It's the tax. It makes it feel so good just to produce units in general with China now.
Yeah, just the passive gold income that you're getting. And being able to, on a whim, basically, just with barely any villagers on gold, go for an age of transition.
Even before that, though, the blacksmith timings is so clean. You're getting discounts on your units to afford the blacksmiths. And then you're getting a 33% refund on said blacksmith, which is now coming up.
Yeah. I mean, it's even more than that within the influence of the Imperial Academy.
It's 64 resources and there's
Every
175.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 40%, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Totally reasonable.
Totally.
And you get it in 24 seconds.
Very quickly, very cheaply. Just great
I
value.
work my... what can I say, Crackety? I work my ass off to get China nerfed every single commentating gig.
Oh, I don't mind. China deserves some nerfs.
It's like, I think the Imperial Academy didn't need to get any buffs. It was the one weak
Yeah.
point this Civ had.
I like the idea
maybe-
of having to make Imperial officials from the TC.
I also like the idea of, imagine if the supervised production rate was attached to the Barbican. Because most players go Barbican eventually, but, it at least offers a weak point early on. Because, the taxmen do so much so early on in the game.
Yeah. That villager surviving with 1 HP.
Hey, man. They don't need to be healthy, okay? If they can stand, they can work. We're a salt mine out here.
Already have a good amount of Keshiks in, but Anotand looks at that. He is trying to go for that Castle Age play, and you can easily afford that with the amount of sheep that he's got and the pasture. He's getting so many resources in here safely inside of his base without having to move out, while keeping MarineLorD completely back inside of his base.
And so you
Marine's
want to
gonna
know
have to invest a lot into military units here to push out.
Yeah. And you know what makes this Mongol strategy so strong, Crackety? You know why it became so popular last season? Scouts don't scout. The counter to this play, because it could even eventually be Imperial, is to all-in rush your opponent. But if you look at MarineLorD's vision, he's never venturing across to Anotand's base. He's constantly been gathering at home.
Well, scouts have to fall back now that they saw the Mangadai there.
I think he snuck the horseman round, so he might get eyeballs on the step redoubt if it's going to be built on the gold.
Yeah. Don't think it's gonna be Kurultai. Be surprised if it is. There it is, step redoubt coming in. Not using the gold villagers for that, so might not even be instantly revealed. Is there a scout even with the horseman? No, it's just the horseman.
No, because those scouts are busy. I don't know why we call them scouts at this stage. They're professional deer gatherers. Yeah. Well, can we just be real about this? They're not professional scouts, Crackety. They're amateur scouts. They don't even do their job properly once they have that deck.
Villager
just gather
is
deer.
gonna make it out alive. Nope.
To the afterlife. He's going to make it to the afterlife. There you go. I
Two
fixed the
bill
statement
kills.
for you.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And now,
It's very
the
good.
ramp-up pressure. In fairness, I wouldn't really say Anotand has a super secure gold. He has one outpost there against a Civ that can easily get siege engineering in, 10 seconds, 12 seconds?
Yeah, but now Anotand's entire, MarineLord's entire army is out of position. By comparison, Anotand, he's have the cavalry in the back. And the wood lines here for MarineLord, they're not really, they're not really too defensive. Imperial Palace also coming up behind this. And the Mangadai are going to be able to deal with the spears. Yeah,
He
this
just
is a
dives
lot
in,
of
doesn't
idle
even
time.
care.
No veterans seen yet, though. Oh, the age up.
Oh my god, that placement. The Imperial Palace. That is not safe. He needs more spears ASAP. Tries to hold the choke point, but few do slip through. Mangadai are getting stabbed down. Looks like the fire's going to go back the other way, but the archers getting that trade out. On the other side, though, they finally arrived. The gold is going to start getting blocked here. I mean, the step readout doesn't have anything it can do. It's a glorified lumber camp right now.
Yeah, at the moment, not really too efficient. The archers are doing some damage there as well. Actually, MarineLorD, he just got a lot of kills.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
There's no upside. Like, he has a step readout, but it doesn't do anything. It is legitimately there to gather wood, and he can't even touch the wood. That's ridiculous.
That's just Eugene. Maybe a second outpost could have helped, but just like that, game's gonna get called.
The counter to the Mongol greed. This is it. This is a pristine example. I remember we went over a few Imperial Rush builds. MarineLorD was even in the chat at the time. He said, I think the only counter to this is you have to all in it before it snowballs. And he just proved that perfectly.
I'm not even sure about that. Like, if Anotand just kept the army in the back, he could have definitely dealt with the small force that MarineLorD sent out. The age up time was in his favor, but yeah, in the end, MarineLorD, he does have the Pro Scout, he does have the Deer. His economy looking super, super solid here. Even though towards the end, like, all of his villagers were kind of idled there around the food, he still had like 3,000 more food gathered there. Wait,
yeah, I think
that's the total resource. More like 2,000.
Okay, yeah, that's chill. I think the crux here is for this strategy to work, you need a good gold spawn. I don't think you can ever get away with it with those type of gold spawns. It's the luck of the draw sometimes for Mongols. Is why we usually just see them take a super aggro focused approach. But just great understand by MarineLorD. He even had that outpost early on, kind of preconceiving the idea that this would happen. And I mean, yeah, Magadite, great at sniping villages, but you just see they don't stand up to a straight-on fight like this at all. They just got melted.
Yeah, on top of that, MarineLorD, he did have the blacksmith upgrades, at least the tier 1 blacksmith upgrades. Meanwhile, Anotand didn't have pierce armor or pierce damage.
That step readout didn't even stand a chance to live in this game, but a quick game number 1, and we're already getting ready for the second. House of Lancaster up against the Ottomans. We talked about this.
So we are getting some points of interest there.
Yes, and we talked about the fact that House of Lancaster probably doesn't want to have to build Dark Age units here. I mean, manors are locked behind feudal after all.
Yeah, still, it's definitely a nice thing to have. What you can do instead, like, instead of going for the points of interest for the wolves, you can go for the Lancaster Castle close-ish towards your
you nudge it towards
the trade cavern.
The merchant camp.
The
merchant camp. Yeah. The merchant camp.
Because your gold is already in range of the TC.
Yeah, and the point is, if you take the risk to put it outside the base, you can secure merchant camp and the stone, and then you build the manors stacked behind. The trade-off there is you will be outside a TC range, and if this is a spear rush, if you get scouted doing that, your opponent could just beeline towards you. We're going to find out how this one's going to cook up. We've got Ottomans, a civ that looks phenomenal on a map with so many points of interest, but MarineLorD chooses good old House of Lancaster and gets forced into what is becoming possibly my favorite Dark Age meta ever in Age of Empires 4.
Barracks coming in from both players here, so MarineLorD does opt to play for the Spearman on Spearman wolf race, let's call it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense with the House of Lancaster still, because sure, you don't get the early discount on your barracks that you do with the Ottomans, but you still have 50 more wood compared to other civilizations, like the English.
It's not just that. You also have 20% more food gathering rate on cheap. So
that's true.
Yeah.
So just got to get one of those wolf camps, and like age up is fairly quick.
Mm-hmm. Also, just your ability to blob spears at equal pacing, even superior in some cases. Anotand at the beginning will definitely at least have more spears coming. MarineLorD, usually you think about what, like 4 spearmen here is good enough with Sin to burn down the points of interest to secure the merchant camp.
Yeah. If you pull the scout, 3 is enough as well, or good enough timing wise. But then you kind of like sacrifice a little bit when it comes to being able to scout cheap.
I do wonder, like, I think this is actually a good map for Abbey of Kings. It's very short.
You say that for every House of Lancaster.
And the one that I'm right in is the one that everyone will remember.
If you say it often enough, there is going to be that time when it's going to work.
Yeah, you know.
Everybody's going to remember you for it.
Like, for example, if you like enter every Iber game going, this is going to be a fast castle into castle drop in the enemy base by using industry wing so he builds it fast. And it happens. like you're a god, you know. There was a guy in Dota 2. I always remember this for. Eventually backfired when some commentators kept proving it, saying he was wrong. But he would guess what was going to happen 10, 15, 20 minutes ahead of time. You never remember the times he was wrong, because if he was right in Dota 2, like predicting what's going to happen even 5 minutes in the future is crazy. And if he was wrong, that's when we got what we called backpedal Kyle.
That's a nice one. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Rowan's gonna take a
No,
while.
yeah, it's
but
5 minutes.
What if they didn't take a while? But they do take a while.
What if my mum was a car,
like,
you know? Like,
yeah, but the way this is going, Dark Age might actually last a while.
that does favor Ottomans with the Vizier points, especially Imam.
Yeah, if we get to the point where the Vizier point comes in, granted, it's still a while out.
That was a good micro, by the way. Anotand just plucks one for free.
Yeah.
I do not like the look of this right now from MarineLorD.
Yeah, I mean, this is a rough one for him right now. He doesn't have too many like bonuses when it comes to the Dark Age Spearman. And he knows that the longer this goes on, the like worse it gets. As soon as the Vizier point comes in, there is no way for him at all whatsoever to play Dark Age.
I think like this though, he can at least pin reinforcing troopers. Problem is, not quite able to pin him against the gold there to guarantee the kill. He is continuing this though, but look at the macro. MarineLorD's really not that far away.
Is he gonna get it?
He does.
Oh, Anotand gets it just in time.
The other one hasn't been burnt though, right? So he could play back towards that and try to gamble on it. Yeah.
It looks like he's just going for his age up though.
Yeah, he can still
gathering gold.
hunt for it with these spinmen is the point. You know, we saw earlier today, Beastie was able to beat, was it 4 spinmen with 1 scout by throwing 1 torch. And, oh wow, look at that. An innovative build that I've never seen before. Wow, House of Lancaster is such a diverse Civ.
The Civ hasn't even been out for a month, KP. How can you already like be bored from this landmark?
I don't know, like I mean,
this is still very new, fresh, and exciting.
If I wanted to see this build from Lancaster, if this was what I wanted when I signed up for Age of Empires 4, I would have just installed City Skylines.
Also a good game.
It is a good game, but like, you know, it would be nice if Lancaster had to take risks in their games.
It would be nice if City Skylines had medieval units with which you can fight as well.
Yeah, or like just a sudden wave of wolves comes out of nowhere and starts killing you.
MarineLorD doesn't see it.
He's yoinking. Can he yoink?
It's gonna be too late.
It's going to be way too late. Yeah. No, come on. Can the charge in? Oh, he's using the scout to get close. He yoinks it.
Wait, he got it! Again!
That was sick. He used the charge in to guarantee the gap close. And Anotand, he's not going to run a scout into 6 spears. That's suicide.
Yeah, Anotand, he cancelled his like torch throw animation at one point.
Yeah, he got in his own head, like the fake pump. Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly that. The job's coming in for both players. Anotand's going to be a little bit quicker, though, so we'll be able to get the hardened upgrade in earlier. But Spearman on the retreat. Numbers starting to get kind of low.
A little bit awkward.
The Vizier point in. What are they going to use for? Okay, we do have the double Imam play, but Anotand somehow needs to get his Spearman back if he wants to heal them.
This is, yeah, so like if Anotand really wants to make this play work now, it's now a case of you essentially have to build into Sipahi archers, and usually that can work. But the difference here against House of Lancaster is you're also going to need Rams. It starts to sound pretty expensive at that stage.
Yeah. First Manor coming in now, and MarineLorD with that one single wolf camp now has already enough gold for the upgrade to be making even more manors.
You sound so excited about that.
I love manors, man. They're so good and very good. Yeah.
By the way, can I just be the one to say it's racially profiling that like the devs assumed that like British people, oh yeah, they really like their manners.
Oh no.
They have such good manners.
No,
that's bad mannered. Oh my god. They're meant to survive until range units. How is one already dead?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Imams, they're not dervishes. Dervishes wouldn't have had that problem.
Anotand is just getting outplayed.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to like categorize this. This is just raw out micro right now from MarineLorD.
He's doing a phenomenal job.
He's also blocking him from getting the merchant scam. This is where I do feel bad for Anno, though. It is the archer shots from the manas.
At least he's healing it up again. But yeah, the healing is really slow. This was a dervish. This would be not so slow.
Also, keep in mind, a dervish would heal himself, whereas this imam now feels lost without his life partner.
Exactly.
We were gonna save the world together. Heal everyone.
It's gonna be mana number 3 and 4.
Okay, so Anotand's win condition surely doesn't lie in feudal age anymore. Is he really gonna try to burn this?
Imperial?
Oh, honey. That's a tanky building.
Yeah, but at least he's gonna be able to heal the units. They get low.
Yeah, but there's yeoman now.
But now there's a Yemen now.
They take so long to kill.
That's
Soon,
what
TM?
plus 500 HP does to you.
Wait, okay, this is bold with the villager. He's going to force him to dive. Remember, there's more manas behind this, so this starts to hurt. Oh, God. Yeoman. Oh, he gets into the choke points. The supply can't hit him there. You just want to do this one thing. Just if you could just do this, you at least feel good about the game.
Let me get this manor down.
It's like, you've got so many more manas. Let me kill this one.
Come on, one more torch throw. Don't go let it repair it.
That imam is a giant liability. Don't expect to see him back anytime soon. So you'll get the mana, but it comes at a high price. That imam cannot remotely think about participating in fights anymore.
That's true. Minus 300 resource of MarineLorD. I'm just kidding. It's already paid off for itself.
How many died diving that?
Too many. And yeah, I mean, building was up for, what was it, 3 minutes? It paid for itself after 2.5.
Now we got Yeoman to easily sweep the spearman. Spy count, I'd normally say big enough, but he's so close to the base. Yeah, and look at that. Yeoman, they just slip on by. Now you're going to find yourself starting to dive underneath the Lancaster Castle. You need to kill 2 Yeoman for it to be a good trade.
And goes down as well.
To the final bowman! Yep. I mean, this is just surgical right now. What other word could you use for what MarineLorD's doing? I mean, yes, we can talk about mana spam being OP, really strong, but even from an early point
the
before you
micro
had
on the
them,
units.
Yeah.
It's really good. And there it is, number 6. Manor just got rebuilt again.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Wait, oh my god, Anothand's actually going siege engineering. My brother in Christ. Wait, that's not it. My brother in the Prophet. Is this really how we want to go down on the Ottomans? I guess he doesn't have any other choice at this stage.
At least it doesn't feel like... he feels like it. Oh, we're getting the... Yeah, there it is. Levying coming in as well. It's Leviosa.
No, it's Levy Lancer.
Levy Lancer.
All 8 of them. But don't worry, Anotand has got military schools, right?
Surely it's gonna help. It's gonna be enough.
Alright, you know what? I don't think anyone would have complained about Yeoman if they were called Yeomancers. Because then the name is so epic, you're like, yeah, I mean, like, Necromancers are dangerous. This is fine. That's my hot take. Missed the
We're getting a good amount of archers. At least the Demi-Lancers barely do any damage, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just like a spearman on horseback that you can't kill. Those are, like, spearmen have never cost Anotand anything important in this game.
Nah, never. It's a good amount of archers now.
Yeah,
At least the Yeomen don't have, like, broken attack range, like longbows.
Yeah, but it's fine, because now I'm going to go into my base, and I have, like, these archers. They can't move, but they have, like, 1,500 HP. Oh my god,
And
it's,
sure,
it's
Anotand has a
Sentinels
merchant,
from
but-
Age of Mythology.
Oh, never mind. The deer, they gotta get raided.
Yeah, are they though? Like, the archers aren't here. They're on a coffee break.
I mean, not those deer. I mean,
Oh no,
Anotand's deer.
you mean the Demi-Lord SARS. Stop it, MarineLorD, stop it.
Stop it, MarineLorD, stop.
Oh god.
And there it is.
Actually,
Yeah,
this
that's
is it.
relatable.
It's always this. I'm telling you, this detail, these things are the thing that just gets everyone out of the game.
Oh, suddenly getting these 8 knights in. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It might not be as
It's
good
a
as
pretty
French
good thing
knights,
to
but
have.
you have like as many of them as a French player would at the same time.
It achieves the same amount of pressure that 3 knights would.
I think the thing that's underrated is the bulk. Because it's so many, as you just saw there, he couldn't just go, oh crap, I'm being raided, let me just walk away. No, he got body blocked and surrounded, and then he has to run around and get clubbed. So compared to like a standard 2 or 3 knights, instead of it being like, oh yeah, I took 9 damage from each of these, it's more like 18 because they strike twice. So yeah, really powerful timing. And sadly, no Abbey of Kings because MarineLorD wants to win. What lame-o.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine wanting to win, Crackety?
Imagine that, dude. Imagine that. Upcoming match, we're gonna have Holy Island, Order of the Dragon up against Juji's Legacy.
And now, I love the comment about MarineLorD and the name. Appropriate. We are going to find out if he is going to be Lord of the Marine, because next up is going to be Holy Island. But yeah, like, not to discredit MarineLorD on this victory, right? Like, Lancaster, I think this build is really frustrating, hard to break for a lot of civs. Other civs break it really easily with certain strategies, but like, it is kind of very civ dependent, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
MarineLorD won this before that point. He played
Definitely
really
feels
well
like
on
it.
the micro.
Yeah, the Spearman micro was really good. Getting that wolf camp, it made such a big difference here as well, I want to say. Just getting that bonus 150 gold. Like, not only are you getting 150 gold, but you're also taking it away from your opponent in a situation where I feel like if Ottomans got that plus 150 gold, Anotand could have potentially played for a fast castle age push, but not having that 150 gold suddenly makes a big, big difference.
And I like that you bring it up like that, because that's the interesting thing. If he had chosen not to interrupt the play, it's minus 150. The fact he did, minus 300. But you feel like you need to because there's 2 of them. That's the key detail on this map, I think. It forces your hands in a lot of ways unless you've got a very clear idea of an advantage for quick feudal. And it's very reminiscent of relics in that way. If you don't have a plan for the relics, it used to be it's minus 80 gold. But nowadays, most civs are castle rushing looking for relics, so it's actually a 160 swing. Oh, blimey. And I do believe... Yeah, don't worry. Production's just making us have a heart attack. We are back. I literally went to check the stream. I was like, not again. So,
Yeah, same.
So Holy Island's interesting, actually, because MarineLorD done something, I think, very unexpected with that Chinese pick opener. When you look at his draft, the pick you'd expect to see here is China, right?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, Order of the Dragon is also, like, by now firmly established itself as a hybrid/water civilization.
Yeah.
We do have the tuning pack where the gilded crossbows aren't gilded Juganus, so...
Why? It's so appropriate. Gilded Chiganu versus Chiganu. It's daddy versus his children. It's fun.
Yeah, sure. I mean, just having those gilded crossbows that shoot faster than archers with...
That's not
3
true.
times the damage?
A gilded archer shoots quicker. Okay, for those that don't know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
gilded archer does.
For those that don't know, gilded crossbowmen may have had a teensy-weensy unintended buff when they reworked animations to make crossbows wind cleaner. To the point that they were attacking at 1.25, which is like quicker than archers. Archers are 1.6. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that. Probably won't see crossbows. I'm sure this will be decided by water. Ha ha ha. By the MarineLorD himself. 2-0 up, looking for the clean sweep up against Anotand. We hop into Holy Island. Order of the Dragon versus Shushin. I mean, this is the map, it feels like, that Anotand drafted for.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I mean, Juji's Legacy, it's like one of, if not the go-to civilization on Water. Grant, he also did have Japan available to himself, so does definitely have that, well, he did make a choice. He did make a choice in the end. Shushi's Legacy, that's gonna be his play here, though. Both players opening up with the dock early on, to be expected.
Yeah, and to that point, Shushi and Japanese, you go back just a few months, they were easily considered the kings of Hellon. They're the two most desired picks. English was up there with them as well. So it definitely felt like Anno had the strategic awareness with his drafting to try and take an advantage there in Hellon, but I think All the Dragon is one of those kind of crazy civs that can trip you up a little bit occasionally. The thought process is when it's about raw economy, OTD does reasonably well, so boats, there's no disadvantage there. And then there's if you can sneak a unit. If you can get, for example, a Gilded Archer or a Gilded Horseman, the damage they can do on land and how hard they are to kill can just win a game.
Yeah.
I am excited, by the way. I am looking forward to demos failing.
Yeah, it's something that couldn't get fixed with a tuning pack, so it's
here to stay, baby.
Got to play around it. Yeah, it's gonna be something that players are gonna have to play around, and means that demo ships, they're a sword that can cut two ways.
I like that.
Probably can cut one way harder than the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see the eventual outcome be that they don't hurt your own boats more. But for those that don't know, there was a slight feature that slipped through with demo ships. They now hurt your own boats. So you have to be very careful about where you position them. Very unlikely we're going to get that classic 8-10 demo pump where it's a Congo line. Because if you do that, you're just going to force a chain reaction.
Yes. True. Demos not only do damage to other ships, but also to other demo ships. So, yeah, you can just blow up all your own demo ships with that.
You can make it look very pretty.
Scout just hitting that villager means that the villager is going to be low HP. Means that maybe he's going to have to get pulled back, replaced by another villager. Will cause some idle time. MarineLorD already on that second dock now.
What did Anotand do instead? Because he didn't do the same harassment, which is a little bit surprising. I guess it's an Order of the Dragon villager. You're not really going to scare him off before he builds 2 docks, right?
Oh, looks like he's just going to use his scout now against the scout from MarineLorD.
Okay. It should be enough to force him away. Obviously, you're eventually going to want to pull that villager back anyway after the second dock, because if any land unit comes through, you're just dead. I will kill him soon. And I love that. That one little shiv means that MarineLorD can't just turn and trade with the scout.
Death in 1 million strikes.
Only 1 million? I had a bidding
Scout.
of 2
Yeah.
with these guys.
Scout just suddenly starts counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think scouts should actually just have to make the most pathetic grunt noise when they swing. Like watching someone who has literally 0 muscle density play tennis. I just realized some people are probably in a room alone right now watching this because, gaming nerds, and their mum or their relative or their wife may have just heard those groans, so I do apologize.
Turn up the volume. Surprise your neighbors.
Wow, he really, really watches tennis deep into the night. Meditation garden now coming in. That is a terrible meditation garden. Oh, God.
It's getting the stone in. Stone, gold, and...
Are you
bit of the
going
wood.
to defend this on this
I
map?
mean, he must have done the math, right? Like, the numbers are literally being shown to him, and he decided, yeah, this is good. I mean, okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
That
I was
way
waiting for him to show because this is the reason why Shushi looks so good on this map, because the meditation garden, it feels hard to not get 100 plus.
Yeah, this is way better. This is like that episode from Parks and Recreation where they have a burger show-off and people were just immediately, yeah, this is way better.
He's like, what? You're right, this wins.
Yes, really.
So MarineLorD has a total of 0 boats so far. He took the more greedy route, it seems.
All right, we do have the archer ship out first. We do also have a demo ship in production for Anotand here. That's, yeah, I mean, it's risky. Granted that MarineLorD is opening up with his own archer ship as well.
You know, I just realized we're no longer getting people hiding demo ships in their fishing boats.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
God.
would be quite devastating.
An archer ship has arrived, destroying and cause devastation. We already have an archer ship out from MarineLorD. So Springer will be able to poke a little bit, but it's very difficult with the fishing boat pull to actually kill it before reinforcements come out. Have we got any desire to try and switch Chiku into land? Because I think Anotand historically has been a big fan of actually just rushing into a production building on land and building 4 or 5 things like Chiku.
MarineLorD actually the first one to have an archer range up here.
I love this. It's smart because you can basically trade taking no damage against Chuk, which is the go-to opening for Shushi.
Alright, Springle ship coming in now as well. No Hulken yet, but we do have the repair potential. And repairs coming in quite quickly.
Now we just need that demo, and the game will be over. Please don't lose an extra Embo. Okay, archer ship's gonna be able to counter
Anna.
Wait, that villager. Oh, how is the? It's a gilded villager. It should not be that close to death. What? The scout has just been
That's
tennising.
been working for a while.
Yeah, another demo.
Oh no, he cancelled the the attack. Oh no, he cancelled the movement speed.
Oh. No. And you have no land
And now
units.
the archer as well.
Yeah, I'm going to paint a worse picture.
And there's the wing villagers.
I'm going to paint an even worse picture. Check Anotand's vision. His scout is still attacking that villager. He's not going to see the gilded archer ahead of time. On 7 HP. Oh, that guy should retire from tennis.
Oh my god.
Demo's at least going to get a strike in, it seems.
There he goes.
Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, he does get the kill.
Yep.
And Gilded Archer is attacking the Meditation Garden right now.
All right, okay. That's better.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a landmark who the daddy is. I tennis too.
That's right.
I tennis harder.
Watch me throw wooden sticks at your building.
I'm disturbing the peace.
I am the peace. Not really.
The boats are now in pieces, so let's get another start. I mean, Anotand does have the military lead on water right now. Just a case of whether he can do anything with it before this Gilded Archer does something. Because, you know, he's right now just 4,975 shots away.
He's making...
Oh, God.
Anotand, he's making only Springle ships at the moment.
I mean, he feels like he's kind of losing. He has got them limping along right now. A good split. MarineLorD, it's in the name. He's living up to it. Lord of the Ponds.
The Dock Baron.
Wait, would we call this a marine? Does it feel like a marine to you? Or is that false advertising?
It depends on the scale of Age of Empires 4, right? It's all over the place anyways.
I mean, it feels like a marine in that like it leads out into a bigger ocean of water, probably. Maybe. Possibly. Definitely.
Anton, he's been making these Springle ships only with taxation gold now for a while, but it's gonna run out soon.
And if you don't have gold for Springles, you also don't have gold for Chuk. Horsemen would be feasible on land. Like, at some point, this Gilded Archer is going to become a nuisance. And are you kidding? Look at MarineLorD's production.
Oh, no.
It's just, he's defending water, and he's building a military force on land that I don't see how Anotand easily beats.
Yeah.
Let's at least have the outposts up.
MarineLorD pulled back, so he's getting gold again.
So I think he's waiting for the spears because he's assuming horsemen, which does make sense. As we can see, Anotand doesn't care for land. Who needs the land when you can have the sevens? But the one sea, there's only one.
I like how players are consciously just making a note of the demo ships and just making sure that it's nowhere near their main fleet.
Hey, can I be with you guys? What's that? Like, is that gunpowder? Yeah, it's totally safe. You got the fire next to the gun. It's absolutely fine.
Oh, this is mine. I brought it from home.
Yeah, it's like I've tested it. Have you? Because that looks like it's meant to be like a bomb. Yeah, like I tested it on paper. Can I come with you guys? No. Don't ever come near my kids again. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
Oh no.
What?
Yep. That's it. Yep. Makes sense. Reasonable crash out. GG gets called. MarineLorD with a clean sweep.
I don't.
Man, these were surgical games, but man, that demo ship there at the end,
What?
the harass on land at the same time, the distraction coming in.
I can't believe how simple he made unraveling Anotand look. I mean, I know MarineLorD is a master of it, we know, but
And this isn't an offense to Anotand. This is a praise to MarineLorD. He made him look like he just started playing the game. Like the way he just made that distraction look so simple to get the maximum impact was disgusting.
My God, that was absolutely insane. Absolutely insanely cleanly played. Like that Order of the Dragon game. Damn, crazy.
I'm speechless. Like, yeah, here we go. Little Wally walked in to deal with the gold workers. He even pulled the that's the small detail that matters. He pulled the demo back so that when Anotand looked at this fight, he didn't see it. So he goes back in. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Just gonna I'll focus on dealing with your land, and then this. Genius.
Oh, man.
Absolutely genius. Oh, MarineLorD can now. I'd be proud he made me scream like a girl. But anyway, that happened. That wait, what was it you said, Crackety? Something like, yeah, there'll be like a 3-hour set and an hour-long game, and
Well, I'm gonna say it again next time and the time after that, and one day it's gonna be right.
you're learning. There we go. It's all about the low percentiles. That's what hypes people up. Blimey. But no, incredible dominance at MarineLorD. And I think these two have still been scrimming together, so in some ways maybe like a little bit to be expected, I guess, if one player just has the other's numbers. And MarineLorD, I don't think too many people are surprised by this outcome, not because Anotand isn't talented, but like we know what MarineLorD's like when he gets into hunker down mode, and the people that are expected to kind of floor him are, you know, Beastie, Vortex, Luciferon, Anotand, a potential contender in there. But like we know, for example, the Beastie front, there's obviously questions that have to be answered deeper in the set of like, has he been able to keep up because by his own admission, not enough time to practice. You know, Anotand, I don't know. I think I remember when we interviewed him, because you might remember that interview from the first EGC tournament when he like realized how well he was doing, and he described it as like he wasn't meant to be in the tournament, and it was almost like I think I described it as it's unshackling, and I'm wondering if like there is any element of now I think we kind of expect Anotand to do really, really well, but I don't think you should feel bad about this. It's MarineLorD.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, it's MarineLorD, and for one, Anotand's also like practicing a lot with MarineLorD, and just something else to say, like MarineLorD has been putting in the hours for this tournament. Like, absolutely has been putting in the hours. The amount of custom games that this guy has been playing recently, that's a lot of time. A lot of effort being put into the game, and it shows. And just not playing ladder at all kind of gives you like a clean and focused image of the meta when it comes to tournament maps, and that just kind of shows here.